Hey guys, welcome to Finish Awesome Friday for another week. So this week we're going to attack the area that probably most people when they come into training, or most people that do train, are interested in doing, especially post this period of time when we're going into Christmas. We've done the sort of Halloween and we've done fireworks night. Lots of stodgy foods, lots of things be consumed over the next few weeks, and that normally leaves us then going into January wanting to go into major fat losses. So what we're going to do over the 3 weeks, what we've been doing anyway, is sort of covering the main areas, explaining what you should be looking at to do in your training, your mindset, and your sort of diet. And then over the next few weeks, we'll start getting more and more into detail into each aspect and start looking into different aspects of that and giving you more information on it. So it may seem a bit vague the last couple of weeks, but actually what we're going to delve into then, we'll get in a bit more in detail over the few weeks. So with fat loss, obviously we want to look at improving body composition. So body composition is the amount of lean mass you have compared to the amount of fat mass. So the more fat mass you have compared to lean mass, obviously the worse your body composition is. Obviously if you were the other way around, if you're more muscular, if you've got more lean tissue and less fat mass, then you're in a positive body composition, you're in a good place to be. Okay, that's what everyone's aiming for from there. So the 3 layers of awesome are exactly the same. Obviously, we're working for diet first. If your diet is correct, then your training will enhance the effects of that diet, and your mindset will then enhance it further because you are basically then on the right path and thinking in the right terms to get those results. So what we'll cover is each aspect of that for you, and as I say, we'll go more into detail over the next few weeks from there. So starting with your diet, obviously the most basic thing you need to do is shoot for a calorie deficit. Okay, now again, we can argue about what's easier and what's more convenient for people, but actually we just want to talk in straight facts. Then it's the easiest, most convenient thing you can do is actually work out your maintenance level. As we discussed last week with muscle gain, if your goal is to lose weight, then you need to know and you need to be accountable for exactly what you're doing. Okay, it's all very good if you're experienced in dieting and in training and take enhancing drugs. You can go by the wayside, but this isn't that difficult to do, and it should be something that is built into your daily habits. Get a calculator. Any weight calculator will do. It'll give you a TDE, which is your total daily energy expenditure, and from there you can start working out if that is your maintenance level by eating that every day. And then basically at the end of the week, if your weight hasn't changed, then you know that's a maintenance level. Now it works in a range. It's not going to be an exact number. You'll probably find it can range between sort of 3 to 500 calories either way. You can eat that and still stay at the same body weight, but still that's what you're aiming to do. So if you're not sure, then obviously ask. We have I do at times body weight, but you can use calculators online. There's lots of opportunities to find out how many calories you want to shoot for and work from there. Okay, once you work that out, then you're looking between 300 to 500 calories less than that maintenance level to start your fat loss journey. Okay, and that's again like the muscle gain. You don't want to start too much. You don't want to cut your calories right down straight away because it's a long process. It's a process over weeks and months, not a process over a very short period of time. It's great if you can lose 5-6 pounds in the first week and then another 4 or 5 pounds the next week, but very, very quickly those losses will come to a halt and then you won't have anywhere to go. You won't have any room to maneuver. Okay, so ensure that there's only those small calories from there. Reduce carbs on non-training days. So this is something that I would definitely recommend to people that are, have started a diet regime, started tracking calories. They may find they're getting to a point where they're not quite getting the results that they want to anymore using the calories they can. So a quick and convenient way to do it is to basically cut your calories down from carbohydrates right down on non-training days. Normally, we want to be looking about 0.5 gram per pound of body weight, but even easier than that, stick to about 10% of your daily total calories being carbohydrates, and then the rest of it made up from fats and proteins. Now obviously you want to have a good source of proteins from there, so if you're talking about 10% off of that, then obviously it's about 40 to 45 grams 45% of the rest of your calories will come from proteins and fats. And that's just a nice way to make sure that when you're not training on non-training days, there's no reason you're not really burning that much glycogen. You're not really, causing much reason to eat carbohydrates and to convert those carbohydrates into glycogen for the muscle. So when you eat it, any excess energy or anything else like that is just going to go to fat stores from there. So literally on non-training days, you just cut back on the carbohydrates, and then on training days, you can increase them a bit more to get the repair benefits and the glycogen restoring benefits of carbohydrates from there. Slowly decrease calories over time. So much like you're adding mass, cutting calories is no different. So as I said at the start, do not jump and do big jumps to get big weight losses straight away. The goal is over time you should be, again, losing about £1 to £2 a week and or half a kilo to a kilo a week. You know, those are the numbers. And if you're hitting that every week, then that's fantastic. That is what we call the gold standard weight loss. And over the weeks and months, that chips away, and suddenly, you know, you're looking at, you know, over a course of a couple of months, you know, you've knocked off up to about, you know, 16 pounds of weight, which is, you know, excellent. A stone every couple of months is a good, healthy weight loss, and leads to a longer term success from there. Okay. Drink plenty of water. Okay, so you know, not only is water great for performances and how we feel, obviously during times when you're you know, dieting, just ensuring you're getting plenty of water in the system just gives you the sense that you're sort of filling yourself and keeping yourself you know, full. But obviously you know, that's not how it works. Water does not you know, literally fill the stomach and make you feel full. Your body needs nutrients and it needs minerals, and it will detect that if you're just putting water into it. But just drinking more water is a good thing anyway for everyone, just for health-wise and performance-wise. And it doesn't just have to be water. Obviously, it could be green teas and things like that as well. But just making sure you're getting between, for most, it will be about 2 litres a day. If you're training more excessively, then you might go up to 3 to 4 litres a day. But generally speaking, for most people, 2 litres should be right on the money. So when we go into training, you want to utilise the anaerobic and aerobic pathways. So the difference between strength and muscle to fat loss is that actually the goal here is to reduce as much weight as possible and reduce as much fat as possible. So the anaerobic effect has good effects in releasing hormones like growth hormone, you know, insulin like growth factors and things like that. So they are very good at retaining muscle mass and utilising fat, or getting fat to be used as fuel. The aerobic pathway, again, the oxidative system, again, is very good at utilising fat for fuel from there. Also glycogen, so obviously that's where we you know, we need to keep our carbs in line with our training and our goals. But they both have very good effects at releasing those hormones that do attain fat. Now, it's not to say that slow, steady state cardio on its own is effective at fat loss, because that's the myth that we always try to dispel in the training industry. But combined with some more higher intensity stuff, it is the best of both worlds, and it will give you the biggest bang for your buck overall. But you still want to keep in your strength work. You still want to keep some power work there. So about 25%, I would say, generally speaking, have 25% at least of your training revolved around your phosphagen work. So that is your strength work, your basic strength work, so your squats, your pulls and your pushes, and then maybe some explosive work if you want to keep explosive, you want to keep athletic, so throwing, slams, jumps, things like that. You know, but try and keep it to about a quarter of your training volume. Don't really spend too much time worrying about this, because your goal really during a fat loss phase is just to keep your strength where it is. So it's that relative strength that we were talking about. When you're dropping body weight down, if you're, for example, if you can deadlift 100 kilos, you know, you're at your body weight of 80 kilos and you get down to 75 kilos, but still deadlift 100 kilos, then your relative strength goes up, and that is what you're looking to do. So you don't have to spend a great deal of time on that, just enough to keep that maintenance level of strength, okay? Look to increase density over intensity and volume. So where we discussed over strength is intensity, obviously. Volume works a lot more better with in terms of muscle size and muscle gains. When we're looking at fat loss programs, when we're looking at to improve people's conditioning, what we're trying to do is get them to do more and more work in the same amount of time, or the same amount of work in less time. So you can do it by shortening rest periods. You can do it by you know, timing your sessions and doing as much as you can in one session, and then trying to beat that amount of volume in the next one. Those sort of techniques and methods, which we'll discuss, as I say, in future videos, are going to be much better at burning body fat and again producing those growth-like hormones and you know, the good hormones that we want in the body to you know, keep the muscle mass and, you know, burn the fat as fuel. Okay, that's what we're looking to do. Not trying to get too scientific here, so I'm trying to not use any sort of words like that. No words that I actually know anyway. Focus training towards increased metabolism. So where in muscle and strength you're looking to work on accessory work to build certain muscle groups to keep size or to build size, what we're looking to do on a fat loss program is to find movements and find exercises that are going to burn the most calories and give you the best EPOC effect after you've trained. So that is where things like you know, your hits, your high intensity kind of CrossFit style circuits and things like that are going to be much more beneficial for people when you're doing a fat loss program. Okay, so movements that are going to utilize the whole body are good, so thrusters and high pulls and, you know, jumps and things like that are going to utilize the whole body are going to be very good at burning calories. And then, you know, when you do your cardio, make sure, you know, again, you can do something that you can push yourself on 110%, because that is going to get the metabolism as high as possible and help you burn calories in the long run. So as you go into mindset, the very final thing, it will take time. And this is something that you have to understand about weight loss. It's very much not linear. It's very much not going to go the way you want it to all the time. And it's going to be very much an experimental thing with you. Every individual is different in terms of that. So where, there's no such thing per se as a snowflake sort of program for people. Generally, one program will work for all, but all you have to do with that program is make the little changes that will make it more individualized to you. So your psychological profile and how you, how your body reacts to training very much is individual in terms of that. So normally if you get it right up here, the body will follow. And so where you're looking at it, so, here she's pointing at the calendar. So know that if you're looking to drop 1 to 2 pounds of weight per week, if you want to lose, say, 2 stone, which is going to be 28 pounds, then you're looking, if you're doing 2 pounds a week, then you're looking at about 14 weeks to get to that goal, okay, if everything goes right. But what you will notice here is the other graph I'm showing you is a bit of a squiggly line with the average line going through it. What you'll notice with your body weight is it does fluctuate. Whether your goal is to lose weight, gain muscle, or maintain, your body weight will fluctuate through the weeks. And if you weigh yourself 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes, even daily if you wanted to, what you'll notice is that some days you'll be dropping down, other days you'll be raising back up and down. For females as well, it's a lot to do with the hormonal sort of cycles that they have as well. So that can affect the weight and how they hold and retain water and everything else. But as long as over the time your average weight loss is okay, you're seeing the graph slowly going down the graph from there over the weeks, over the months, then you're getting the goal you want. And that is better long term than trying to have a big drop in weight and then crashing and not being able to get the goals you want. I understand the want of, trying to get 10, 15 pounds off as quickly as possible. But think about the long run. Think about actually where you want to be in a year's time rather than where you want to be in 2 weeks' time. That is going to put you in a much better mind space and give you something to focus on. And actually, you can chip away at your goal and it gives you a longer run and more sort of positivity than losing a lot of weight straight away and then really struggling to try and lose any more weight past that point. Okay. Yes, it can be done, but in my opinion, that the quick fix is always going to end up putting you in a bad place mentally and physically as well. So you want to make sure everything is as healthy and as consistent as possible over time, and that will give you the best results. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. As I say, over the next few weeks we can then start delving more into each aspect of what we talked about over these 3 videos and get a bit more in depth in it and show you techniques and tactics that we use here at UPeak Performance to get the results that you want. Any questions, obviously throw them in below or ask me in person. Have a great weekend, guys. Just be awesome. Catch you later.